I'm Randy Nesbitt, founder and CEO of Posi-Trak Incorporated, ground-based training for winning on your feet. We consider this ground-based because your feet are firmly planted into the ground. You're supporting your body weight with your hands and feet, whereas when you're laying on your back on a bench press, that is not ground-based. You're laying on your back. When you're sitting on your behind and doing a pull down, that is not ground-based. You're supporting your body weight with your, which is not real athletic performance enhancing or functional training. So the idea that this is going to build a lot of strength has to do with the fact that it is compound movements firing every muscle, major muscle groups of the upper body at the same time. We even hesitate to call it a push-up because a push-up, you have a certain idea in mind. Everybody knows what a push-up is. But strength training is, you'll hear people say, I believe in pushing and pulling. You have to do pushing movements and you have to do pulling movements. A push-up is not pushing and pulling. However, every movement on the twisted mule, when you are twisting the bar, is a push and a pull. And so the strength gains you're going to see when you go back and try a bench press, you're going to have so many more muscle fibers recruited, so many more auxiliary and supporting and stabilizing muscles to utilize when you do your regular pull up or pull down or your bench press, that you're going to see your PRs go up. So let's take a bicep curl push-up. You can't do a bicep curl push-up normally, but with the thickness of the bar, you have an underhand grip, so now it's a bicep, and I'm doing a bicep curl push-up, and I'm twisting while I do it. So your body was not really meant to do this. You're isolating a movement in a joint. You're straining your elbow in a way that the body really doesn't want to do. And it'll eventually show up as you get older. It may show up even earlier, but true free weight lifting in isolated movements, whether it's a bench press, and I know that's somewhat compound, it's more compound than it's still an isolation movement. This is an isolation movement. Your shoulders are fixed in place. It's following a set path. You can go to functional training, but a lot of people don't like to do that because you're not building as much muscle and getting as much raw strength as you want to get. So when I'm doing that bicep push-up, I'm engaging my bicep and my tricep, because my bicep, I'm bicep curling, but while I'm ascending and descending, I'm doing my tricep. When you do a regular bicep curl, your body shuts down your tricep, that's why it's somewhat unhealthy for your joints. So you're only getting your bicep, your body shuts down your tricep. Here, you're getting all the prime movers at the same time. Same thing with a regular push-up. You're not doing your lats. Yes, your lats are engaged, but they're not part of the propelling movement. They're not pushing you up and controlling yourself on the way down. It's your chest muscles. But on the twisted mule, we'll just go to a lat pull down. So I've got the bar more vertical and I'm pulling my left arm down while I do a push-up. So I'm pulling and pushing at the same time, pulling my left arm, pushing my right. So I'm engaging now. I have an underhand grip here, bicep, tricep, chest and pec, lat. The shoulders are mobile. So you're getting a true compound movement, the way the body really wants to move. The body doesn't really want to just do this. It's not functional, it's not real life. And fortunately, you get more strength and more muscle mass using the twisted mule while you're training these muscles safely. You'll hear us say a lot of times, it's so good for your joints. Well, it is. If you've ever had a shoulder problem or know people who do, they go to a physical therapist and they'll do little stabilizing auxiliary muscles to stabilize the joint, or they'll do some band work. Well, you're getting the supporting muscles, the stabilizer muscles, the auxiliary muscles, and your prime movers all at the same time, which is why it's so healthy for your joints and why we have found that, and hopefully you won't be the first one out there to fail this test, but we've encountered that everybody if they have a lingering shoulder issue, bicep strain, pec strain, tear, wrist problem, elbow tendonitis. That's what happens sometimes when you're bench pressing. Oh, my elbow hurts. It'll rehab all those things because you're getting your prime movers and your stabilizing muscles and your core muscles all at the same time. Everything's firing at the same time. And literature is showing for muscle mass development that the more compound the movement is, the more muscle mass is gained. So you're hitting all aspects of what you want in a strength training program. You're getting muscle mass, strength gains, core work, shoulder mobility, joint health and rehab, and firing your metabolism higher than you would if you were laying on your back bench pressing, sitting on your behind doing a pull down, and even just standing and just doing dumbbell work. So it checks all the boxes, and when you see the content that we have written up, this will support all that. But I will show real quick, how does this become a total upper body workout? Well, it does because you have different grips and different exercises. So we would go with a push and a pull. We like to do a time under tension stationary push-up also in the middle, so I would shoot for, say, you're trying to build up to like a set of 16 reps on that. A twisting push-up is 1, a stationary is 2, 3, 4. After that set, we would go to the other side, go right hand forward. Then we would go to what I've already mentioned, a lat pull down push-up. So I'm pulling down with my left arm, pushing with my right. Stationary push-up in the middle. Then we would move on to a bicep curl push. And so this is set 3, this is set 4. So now you get the bicep curl push-ups that I was showing earlier. That could be set 5, set 6, set 7, set 8. We'll get some more bicep work, but also some narrow grip work for your, like a tricep press. And of course, that would be both ways. And then on the 9th set, we could either go one of 2 ways. We could go both narrow for more tricep pressing, and we'll go both ways since it's the 9th set, there is no 10th. Or I'd prefer, and when you get a little more advanced, it could be pec flyers, push up in the middle for that tricep press, and then shoulder flies back out. So shoulder adduction, shoulder abduction. And when you get a little adept at that, you would do the same thing while you twist. And an angled push-up. So there you're hitting all the major, the typical lifts you're going to get. Pressing, pulling, biceps, narrow grip, pec flyers, shoulder flies. We constantly hear these stories of people we've trained in our facility when they are on vacation and they hit a gym locally because they're not here, and they're always so surprised on how their bench press has gone way up and all their lifts. And this chart is an example. We took 3 highly strength conditioned football players at one of the best football programs in the state here locally in Knoxville. They were just finishing up their strength training for the school year. They were going to take 2 weeks off before they started their summer workouts. A few guys wanted to work out with us and not take the 2 weeks off. So all they did was, for 2 weeks, the only upper body work they did was the twisted mule push-ups. And these are the results, which some strength coaches might say this is just simply not possible. I mean, the pull-ups are insane. And it just goes to show you how when all your joints are more connected together with these compound movements, building your prime movers, your stability muscles at the same time, what it does to translate over into regular strength movements. And it is kind of neat when we have a 50-year-old mom who trains on the twisted mule tell us that she hasn't had abs like this since she was a teenager.